Welcome to the podcast about venture capital, where investors and founders alike can learn how VCs make decisions and reach conviction. Your host is Nick Moran, and this is The Full Ratchet.
Welcome back to TFR for a special installment of Investor Stories. In this segment, the investors tell a story about some of the most odd and unusual situations they've ever encountered as investors. This is the segment called The Strange and Unusual. On today's special segment, we have Karen Page of B Capital. Karen, what's the strangest, most unusual, or most memorable startup pitch you've received?
I invested a small check in a great company called Ossium that was referred to me through another venture investor who I think very, very highly of. And they're transforming the way that organ transplants become successful by extracting bone marrow from cadavers. And it has been pretty revolutionary in terms of their ability to help people that have had organ donor transplants be able to accept those transplants over a long period of time. So unusual, incredible, and highly rewarding to work with that founder.
Wow. Today we have Nagraj Kashyap, managing partner at the SoftBank Vision Fund. Nagraj, what's the strangest, most unusual, or most memorable startup pitch you've received?
I can tell you the most unusual or memorable, not that we funded that. This was in the time when we used to actually get binders in the mail. And we got this binder when I was at Qualcomm Ventures. And we still, I think my old team still has a binder somewhere because it was a classic one. And it was basically a company that at that point said that we will allow you to communicate with your loved ones after they passed away by putting a cell phone in the casket before you bury them. And they had this massive plan, detailed plan about how this would work, 5-year projections. Actually, I think it was probably 15-year projection at that point in time. And it was just probably still my most unusual pitch I've ever heard. And we actually kept that one for so long. I hope we still have that somewhere because it was just like, you cannot get better than this.
Big TAM.
The time is exactly the time is, and the lifetime value is like, look, it's unlimited.
Infinite.
Yeah, it's infinite, exactly. So it was a really again, everybody comes up with great ideas, and they have the right to do that. But this was a very, very unique one. I don't think I've seen anything that matches this in terms of being unusual.
That's pretty good. On today's special segment, we have Santosh Sankar of Dynamo Ventures. Santosh, what's the strangest, most unusual, or most memorable startup pitch you've received?
So I remember we took a pitch, this is probably late 16, early 17. And it was 4 guys out of college, and like one guy's like old rich grandfather showed up to the pitch too. Had nothing to do with the business. He'd written him a check, but he proceeded to pitch the whole business to us. And it wasn't a venture business at the end of the day. It was an agency it was basically a temp agency. And if you need a trucker, you need a warehouse driver, you basically call them. And if I remember right, like they used like HubSpot or something to manage their pipeline of candidates and customers. And that was about all the technology that really existed. But Grandpa was like real flamboyant, swearing, like it was quite a show. And it was all in person. I think they flew down from New York or New Jersey to pitch us. And we didn't need that. Like we've been remote friendly, Google Meets, back when Appear-In, if some people remember that, like we were big Appear-In users until Zoom really gained its footing. Yeah, that was really interesting. And he was very upset when we passed. In fact, he like tried to get 2 or 3 meetings with us to justify why we were bad to pass. So
it's always awkward, right? When people insist on like flying in or meeting in person, or they send you a big box of stuff and swag, and you're like, ugh. Hold up.
Well, we just had another company probably 2 months ago in November sent us this big box with like this scaled down prototype. And as I opened the letter and read it, it was like insulting one of our existing portfolio companies in a way to get a first meeting. I was like, that's how you don't make it. So yeah, it's it makes for good jokes and lightheartedness as you encounter those things day to day.
It's a colorful business. That will conclude this installment of Investor Stories. If you're enjoying the program and would like to see it continue, take a moment and leave a 5-star review in iTunes. Also, if you'd like updates on new content from TFR, as well as the top 10 VC articles every week, go to fullratchet.net and sign up for the newsletter. Okay, that will wrap things up for today. Until next time, over-prepare, choose carefully, and invest confidently. Thanks for joining me.